Welcome to The Global Founder. I'm Vasiliki Panaghi, and today we're joined by Tabassum Nasrin Haque, who is the co-founder and managing director of Katriyam, a web agency serving clients around the world. She's also a specialist in blockchain and Web3, and she's been working in Korea since 2015. We'll talk about what it takes to build a cross-border business from ground up, the lessons she's learned as a founder working between Asia and the world, and how Katriyam redefines what it means to be truly global. Tabby, welcome, and it's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
You're originally from Bangladesh, and now you're based in Korea. Could you walk us through your journey? What led you from Bangladesh to Korea and toward founding Katriyam?
Yes, I have been answering this since I have come to Korea. So, the reason I came to Korea is I got the Korean government scholarship for postgraduate. So I did my master's in Korea and in computer engineering, and that opened a very amazing door towards the corporate world of Korea, because I was studying in advanced technology, and Korea is very big in advanced technology. Yes.
How did your background in Bangladesh influence your decision to start a web agency that serves clients worldwide?
Well, to answer this, I have to go back to my university days. We, as Bangladeshis, we are very global in general, and when I was in Bangladesh, when I was in university, I used to see my seniors used to hustle a lot. They used to do freelancing internationally, and because English is one of our official languages, even though it's the second language, we do speak the language, which makes it easier for us. And because I think we are very dedicated people in terms of working hard. So if we get any opportunity, we would try our best to do something. So I had that idea from Bangladesh, and then when I came to Korea, then I thought okay, we do have a lot of good programmers and freelancers in Bangladesh, so why not start a web agency?
Mm-hmm. When you first launched the company Katriyam, what vision did you have for the company? What change did you want to make?
Well, even though I established the company last year, but my vision for this company was since 2018, when I saw that Koreans need a lot of outsourcing development, because the in-house development is pretty expensive. So we do see that they were trying to go and to get different services from India and Vietnam and Philippines. So that's when I had the vision, but I needed someone to trust back in Bangladesh. And when I found that partner, so then we established the company. However, initially I thought I am gonna mainly focus on blockchain, because that's my expertise. But as we know, AI is blooming like anything. So, and my business partner and friend, he is also an expert in AI. So we are now changing the vision towards focusing on AI more.
Okay. Katriyam works with clients internationally,
yes,
but you're rooted in Bangladesh and Korea. And I want to know, how do you manage the cultural, operational, and communication bridges between such different markets?
Well, even though I'm from South Asia, Korea is East Asian, but we all are Asian. So we do have a lot of cultural similarities, which makes it easier for me to understand Korean culture. And on top of that, I do speak the language, so which helped me to get more ideas of what they want in general. So it wasn't that hard, to be honest, for me to do this, bridging these two countries. And also, luckily, we don't have a very big time difference, so it also helps.
Yeah. What unique value do you believe that Katriyam offers that global clients appreciate? And how does your Bangladeshi Korean perspective contribute to that?
Okay, so in Bangladesh, or just in general in South Asia, there is this thing, we look at foreigners, or as guests, just guests, let's say, we look at them as almost like God. Okay, so I'm just giving you a background why the values helped me. And so that means like by default, if we have a foreign client, we are obviously gonna look high towards them, like, look up to them. And Korea has also this tendency in corporate world. It's called cab and wool, ul. Cab and ul. So that means is like the client is higher, who is the cab, and like the service provider is a little bit down. It's not like, although like I don't believe in inequality, but I'm just saying like, so that helped me a little bit, like, the Korean and Bangladeshi culture to understand and give the proper services. But at the same time, what I feel like the value which helped me most is like how we believe in interacting and communicating with the client. And I think the best thing in that case is like, if we get some client testimony.
I also want to know, how do you ensure quality and consistency across these different time zones, languages, and varying client expectations?
Well, for us, the main thing is like how we interact and see the clients. So we wanted more like, when we established the company, and my founder and me, both of us believe that like we will not try to sell our products to them or sell whatever templates we have. We don't want to do that. We want to understand that like what they actually want, and then we will provide the service. So that is kind of like helpful. And can you please repeat the question so that I forgot the first part of it?
How do you ensure quality and consistency?
Yes. And even as I mentioned, the time difference is not that much. So what we do is like our developers are working in Korean time most of the time. So consistency is there because like whenever the client is asking question, we just let one of our developers, or at least me or my co-founder, he is gonna be present to answer and say like, hey, we are coming back to you. And quality is never compromised because we are constantly giving some of the results back, like, hey, we are doing this, please check and let us know if it is correct or not. Yes.
Now I would like to know, being a woman and founder from Bangladesh in the Korean ecosystem, what challenges have you encountered and how have you overcome them?
Well, actually, even though I know that like Korea is very conservative-minded culture and everything, however, I personally didn't get a lot of hurdles. I actually had very easy transition in some places, probably because I speak the language and also because maybe I am working in only Korea and in Korean culture for such a long time that I understand what they want. But I'm not gonna lie, there were hiccups and there are situations where maybe I am mansplained. Yeah, so, but then instead of like seeing it as a disadvantage, we can look at it like this, like they are not very used to seeing women taking leads or being a project manager or doing something. So they also need a little bit of adaptation. So those situations, I try to just be more persuasive and like try to tell them like, hey, this is the reason I was saying this, like how about we try this way. So once they get comfortable with the thing that like, okay, she knows things, they don't see me as a woman in general, right? So they will see me as more like a tech person, yes.
But I guess the language helps quite a lot, right?
Yes, because language is just not language, it's like a culture. So you understand the culture and you are providing your information as they want to hear. Yes.
And what perspectives from your Bangladeshi culture do you bring into your leadership, team culture, or your interaction with your clients?
What perspective of my Bangladeshi culture? As I said before as well, like we do have like some respect culture where like we do want to look at the other person. Doesn't matter it's client or anything. Like in general, like we look high to like to elderlies or anyone. So it's a very Asian thing, I think. Like even the language has like their language, our language, both of our languages have like different way of, directing any, whatever we are saying, we can address in a different way. So I think that is what I bring. It doesn't matter if our clients are Korean or non-Korean. We try to like have that value that like, okay, we are gonna look that like they are more important than us. Yeah.
And how has living in Korea influenced your business mindset, your practices, or your growth strategy?
Actually, I think you'll also agree on this thing that like Korea has a big entrepreneur culture. So let's say if you are a person who's not just thinking of a 9 to 6 job, and if you always have some vision and everything, Korea opens a lot of doors because they have government funds, non-government funds, and they will do a lot of they try to help you to understand how to be an entrepreneur and everything. So that overall shaped my thought process. And the growth part comes when I am going to different networking events and meeting so many entrepreneurs and their experiences, how they upscale their businesses, how they got some seed money from here and there. Those things gave me a lot of perspective on how to make grow as and upscale our business. Yeah.
Could you share a story of a client project or a team experience that deeply affirmed why you do what you do?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So last year we had this client who are providing luxury products in e-commerce platform, okay? But they were very tired of hiring models and cameramans and do for modeling photo shoot to upload in their e-commerce platform. And that was more expensive for them. So they reached out to us and they just shared this thing. They didn't give us any idea of what to do or what not to do. So they were like, hey, we have clothes, but we don't have models and we want to still put it in the website and make it more okay, people are gonna be attracted. And my co-founder, Katriyam, he is an AI expert. So he said hey, maybe we can just try to use some AI models who look exactly like humans, and then we try to put the clothes on them. And even though it's 2D pictures, we have to make it 3D, and we also have to make it more like it's a human cloth. There will be creases and everything, right? So we did take that project, but trust me, it was so hard because there are a lot of AI tools, but there is no particular tools where we can do this. So we had to work nights after nights, and after my 9 to 6 job, after his other projects, we had to work overnight every day. And then there was the client was awestruck, and that even telling you that giving me goosebumps, that was the moment my whole team, my partner and me, we were all thinking okay, we are doing something right.
Here.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, what impact do you hope that Katriyam will have in influencing Asia with emerging technologies?
Okay, I think because as I told you, I have blockchain background and blockchain and Web3 background, and I did work in even metaverse. And my co-founder, he comes with AI background, and we are thinking if I will just say not Asia in general, but South Asia, we are still lacking behind in this advanced technologies. So we were thinking if we can establish our footstep and showing people that we have a very good portfolio when it comes to advanced technologies, it will help us bring more and more clients towards us, which will open more doors to our South Asian companies like web agencies.
It's an area I'm particularly interested in, so you know why I asked this question.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I wanted to ask you also, where do you see Katriyam in the next 3-5 years? Are there any new markets or service lines or collaborations you are excited about?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have so many things we are planning. we are actually trying to expand Katriyam's services. We don't do only web services. We do also have software and other graphic designs and AI, as I told you, different AI tools. Apart from that, that's one part of Katriyam. We are also focusing on let's say like news media. So what is happening in Bangladesh is like we do have news media which are like very old school news media, and like these days the more consumers are Gen Zs who are reading the news, but most of the news style is very old style, and not a lot of people are actually providing international news, international tech news, and which not only tech, like what is going on, current affairs to Bangladesh. So we decided like, okay, we will open our own site for that, and probably we do want to be one of the biggest media agencies someday. Like that's one of the part of Katriyam. And the third part is like right now we are focusing on providing services to the other countries. I want to bring that those expertise or those knowledges and invest in my country, in Bangladesh. And we do have a lot of MVPs in our mind. We did write a lot of PRDs. All we need to do is like start making MVPs, actual MVPs, and then we have to pitch to investors so that we as Bangladesh can also grow technologically.
Mm-hmm. And what leadership principles do you live by as a managing director, especially while running this cross-border business and leading a diverse team?
Well, first thing is like communication is one of the principles I do believe. I do believe that our customers are our friends, and we want to first want to hear what they want, because even a simple website can be very different if a person is want to build something for themselves, and if the other one is for commercialized. So that's one belief. And the second thing is I would say this is hard. I had something in my mind, but I just forgot. So yeah, but I think in general, generosity, being generous and being understanding is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's one major lesson that you've learned about building a global business from a non-Western base, from Bangladesh, that you would share with other founders?
I think all my answers are gonna be similar, because we have some values, and the value itself is quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. So I will internationally also say this is something coming from my background, Bangladeshi background, is because we are very tight when it comes to family and when it comes to other values like friends and everything. I'm not saying that Westerns don't have that, but I'm just saying that we are just a little bit more towards just those things. So I feel as I mentioned, that maybe looking at the client as one of your family member, that or you yourself, that if you are there, what would you expect, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. So I think instead of being commercialized and trying to get as many clients, maybe just focus on that thing. That will something I would say to the other founders.
I like this approach.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up, I have one last question for you. If you could give yourself one piece of advice at the moment you launched Katriyam, what would that be?
The moment I launched Katriyam?
Yes.
Probably slow down. I mean, living in Korea, you want to try and do everything. And as women, we try to do multitask a lot, right? We want to do
prove
this.
ourselves more.
Yeah. So exactly. So do this. I think when we started Katriyam, I feel we were focusing on a lot of things. And now we are narrowing it down to mm-hmm. some of the services which are more important services. So that is one thing, maybe that time I would tell myself like, hey, slow down and just focus on one thing. Yeah. And don't get pressurized that like, oh, we have to build something like, tremendous within a year or something.
That was a very nice way to end. Thank you so much, Tabby. That was Tabassum Nasrin Haque, co-founder and managing director of Katriyam. To find out more inspiring stories, visit us at theglobalfounder.com. Thank you for watching.